Hello there everybody, Sam's Trains here and welcome back to the railway and welcome back to 7 Ages of Steam. And the idea of this is that I will show you a selection of locomotives from a certain decade. And today of course it's the 1940s. And the 1940s was a very interesting time for British Railways because of World War II. And World War II meant that the railways had very limited resources, and for most of the 40s they were really quite poor. Having said that, the railways were still really important during this period because they held the country together. They made transport possible, they managed to transport resources from A to B. So it was really important that the railways remained efficient even though they were running on very little. So I'm going to show you a little flavour of that today, I think, with some of the locomotives, and you can see some of these really weren't built to look beautiful, they were just built to do the job. So hopefully this should be good fun. We're going to get started straight away from a loco from the very early 1940s, and here it is. And here's one of the old favourites then. This is from 1941. And it's the Merchant Navy class, and these are very interesting because wartime restrictions meant that Bullitt couldn't design passenger locomotives. So the Merchant Navy class was actually considered a mixed traffic locomotive, even though really, behind closed doors, it was intended for passengers. So yeah, a very interesting class of locomotive, this one. She's going to be pulling 6 Southern coaches, but of course they're not all on the same siding there. So there's this little Southern O40, which is a really lovely little thing, which is going to pull out the first of those coaches for us. So I'm going to get it to do that straight away. Let me just grab that point. There we go. And if I can, very carefully, I'm going to get that O40 to get the first of those coaches out. So, yep, let's give that a try. Just catching on the coaches there very slightly. There we go. I'll just take that O40 off then. Okay, so they're now out and on their own, so time now to reverse the Merchant Navy class out of the siding. So let me just change that point, there we go. And yeah, a little bit of juice then, here she goes right now. Hopefully these will be okay on the points. I hope I've not just jinxed that. No, it seems okay so far. I think I've just heard it couple up. And there we go. But what I'll do is, I'll swap that point back and bring her forwards and then we'll see. Okay, done that then, so yeah, let's bring her forwards and see if she's coupled. I can't see why she wouldn't have done, but you never know with these things. So hopefully she should have all 6. Yep, she does. Oh, brilliant. Okay, that worked well. Alright, let's have a little run with her then and I'll tell you a little bit about them. So yeah, 1941, the Merchant Navies were actually Oliver Bullett's first ever class of Pacifics, and as well as being highly unusual in their appearance, they also ran on chain-driven valve gear, though this did carry a fair share of problems. Nonetheless, 30 of the class were produced during the remainder of the 1940s, and then during the BR period, the air-smooth casing was removed, and the locomotives were rebuilt with the more traditional Walschaerts valve gear, and that's what you can see on this one. This one's Bibby line, of course. Interestingly, 11 of the class still exist today, though sadly Bibby line was cut up along with the rest of the class. Okay, I'll stop Bibby line right there for you. I hope she's in shot there. Anyway, here's a close-up then, just in case you wanted to see her up close. Bibby line, lovely engine, running number 35020 of course, and she'll be running again in just a few minutes. But next up then, let's move on to the second loco. So sticking with the southern theme then, this one is the Q1, which is a gorgeous 060, and some of you might know that I just can't resist running this one whenever the chance comes up, because yeah, I do absolutely love the Q1. And yep, she is a freight locomotive of course, so she's got some various tankers as you can see, with some different brands of fuel in those. So hopefully that should be quite nice to see. 1942 then of course, the Q1, I don't know if I said that. But yeah, let me grab this point then. There we go, and let's give her some juice and get her going. There we go. There's all those tankers. So I'm going to get her onto the middle line then, so we have got a couple of points to change. Okay, she's just coming past the Merchant Navy class and her coaches, so I'm going to swap these points and hope she gets through them okay. Let me slow her down a tiny bit just for these different tankers. but touch wood, I think that's alright. Almost. Okay, cool. Let me stop that then, just swap those points back, and then I'll swap onto this middle control. Oops, wrong way. And there she goes. Alright, and here's a little bit of background about the Q1 then. So the Q1s were also designed by Oliver Bulleid, and they appeared in 1942, and it was a class of austerity freight locomotives. Although the class was not attractive, the engines were extremely efficient and powerful, and they were actually considered the ultimate design of 060 locomotive. A total of 40 were built during 1942, though sadly only one remains in preservation, and I think that is the southern running number C1. Alright, I'll stop the lovely Q1 just there then, and I'll give you a little close-up of her. There she is, beautiful 060. Certainly not designed to look nice, but yeah, I do like it myself. Alright, time to move on then. Let's see what the third loco of the day is going to be. So now quite a jump then to the LNER in 1944, and at this time Sir Nigel Gresley was no longer Chief Mechanical Engineer at the LNER, so now we've got Edward Thompson in charge, and this is his Class O1, which is a lovely 280 freight locomotive, as I say, from 1944. And she's got some various, well, she's got a few empty wagons there, and behind that the Smith's vans, so hopefully that should look quite nice. I'll just grab these points, it's those two, and I'm going to go and get her powered up for you. So here we go then with the Thompson O1. There she goes then, nice and steady, and she really is a gorgeous locomotive. This is a Hornby one from a couple of years back now, but it really is the most beautiful smooth model. So yeah, they were introduced in 1944, and they were designed by Edward Thompson, and they ran on the LNER railway. The class were in fact a rebuilt version of the earlier 280 design from World War I. This was done because the restrictions of World War II prevented the railway companies from producing brand new locomotives, so instead they had to make do by, rebuilding older classes. 58 of the class existed in total then, though sadly all of them were scrapped. Alright then, time to have a bit of a running session then with these three locos. Let's get the Q1 up and running again with her various tankers, and of course the lovely Merchant Navy class from the Southern Railway as well, with the Southern coaches. There we go. Okay, let's have a running session then. So I hope you're enjoying it so far. A lot of Southern action so far, but I've got some stuff from the LMS and the Great Western as well coming up soon. And we've had a little taste of the LNER, of course. There's a Q1. Nice and smooth. I just gave her some oil on the motor, so that one should be running particularly smoothly today, hopefully. Seems to be anyway. And there's the O1 really crawling along. I don't know, I just like to see her go slow. Even though she's not moving very fast, all the linkage and the wheel set looks as though it is moving fast because they're all so small, of course. So yeah, it's quite interesting. And there's the Merchant Navy. And here comes the Q1 with lots of derailed tankers. I'll just have to fix that, hang on. Yes, you've got to love that O1, not Q1. It's a lot of ones today, I'm getting a bit tongue-tied, so I don't know if I've done that already, I might have called it the wrong thing. But yes, that one was the O1 and this one is the Q1. Right, just waiting on that Merchant Navy now, which is of course my all-time favourite class of loco. There it is. Beautiful. It is worth pointing out though that the merchant navies didn't look like this during the 1940s. Most of the 1940s they would have had their air smooth casing on them, of course. Look at that. The O1 isn't a particularly fast model. Of course it can go a lot faster than it is doing now, but generally I just think it is more suited to going slowly. So yeah, let me know what you think about that. Should I do freight trains more slowly sometimes? Yeah, let me know. I quite like it myself. I mean, it's not exhilarating, but you know, we've got passenger locos if you want to see some speed. Okay, as usual then, I'm going to take these engines off and put them back into their sidings off camera, just because that's quite a pain in the neck to get that done. But yeah, I'll be right back in just a few seconds time with the second half of the video, so yeah, stick around and I'll be right back in just a minute. Alright folks, I'm back. Everything you've seen so far has been returned to its siding, and it's time to move on to this loco, which is from 1945, so really nearing the end of the war now. And this is the Great Western County class, and it's got it's got 5 of the traditional Great Western coaches, so hopefully that should look quite nice. Now she is on DCC, as in she is DCC fitted, and I'm going to be running her on the very inner line, so I've already set all the points to get her onto the very inner line. So I've just got to get these sorted, so it's that one just there, and that one's okay. And yes, now hopefully she should be getting power all the way from the 3rd line. So yeah, let's give her a little bit of juice and get her out of there. So this is the Great Western County class. There she goes. Still on the outer line at the moment, but in a second she's going to transfer onto the middle line and then onto the very inner line. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Hopefully she'll do it. She is going nice and steady though, so hopefully she won't derail or anything horrible like that. But she will stop. She's stopped. Yeah, these locos, this is the railroad one, doesn't have any pickups in the tender, which is strange. But it does mean, you know, if they do hit a point or somewhere where the connection isn't too good, they will struggle. Okay, onto the inner line then. Let's see if she does it again. Oh no, she survived that time. Let's see if all the coaches do it. I can hear some rattling, but we're okay. Alright, here's some info about the class then. So they first appeared in 1945 and they were designed by Frederick Hawksworth for the Great Western Railway. Although they were considered a new class of locomotive, the counties were heavily based on the Saint class and actually quite closely resembled them. In the end though, the class resembled a mixture of the Saint and the Hall classes. Performing mixed traffic duties, 30 engines were produced between 1945 and 1947, though sadly no originals were preserved. Alright, I'm going to stop her there then and let you have a closer look at her. Oh, she's not really in shot there, is she? Hang on 1 minute, let me just get her up and running again. Bit further forward, love. There we are, that'll do it, that'll do it, that'll do it. Steady on. Okay, so yeah, there's a close-up of her then. This one was County of Cornwall, of course, running number 1006. Lovely engine that, and I'll run it again in just a second. But yeah, let me show you the next engine then, one of my old favourites. And next I've got a couple of locomotives from the following year, so 1946, and these guys were known as the Ivatt Class 2 or 2MTs. So I've got these two double heading. You've got the LMS black one there, and of course the BR green one, and they're going to be pulling quite a big rake of different wagons. You've got some of my grey wagons at the back there, I don't really know what they're called, and then some of those brown ocean wagons as well, in fact all of them. So yeah, quite a nice big load for them, but hopefully they'll manage quite nicely. So yeah, I'll go over to the controls and get them powered up and see if they can't get out of this siding. So yeah, let's give that a try. There they go then, past the camera, and I'm actually planning to transfer these onto the middle line, so I'm going to go and change some points now and see if we can get them to do that. And here they come now, so yeah, just these two sets of points. Generally these are okay on points, but you never know, you never quite know. Yep, well the locos did it fine. Just a few more wagons still to go. Yeah, perfect. Alright, here's a little bit of info on the Ivatt Class 2s then. Entering service in 1946, the Ivatt Class 2 locomotives were designed by George Ivatt, the son of Henry Ivatt. The locomotives originally ran freight duties on the LMS, and the first 20 were classified as 2Fs. During the BR period though, a further 108 examples were built, and the class were then known as the Class 2 MT, giving 128 in total. And also 7 have survived into preservation and can still be seen today, though sadly over 120 were scrapped and cut up. Alright, I'm going to give these two a little break then, if I just pop those there for a second. And yeah, we're nearly there actually, just one more class of locomotive left to look at. Okay, I'll take you over there now then and show you what it is. And this is it anyway, you might have caught a glimpse of it previously in the video. And incidentally, I think this particular locomotive is one of Hornby's best of recent years. It's just a really quality model. So yeah, it is of course the K1. I think it was designed by Edward Thompson again, wasn't it, for the LNER. This one's number 62027, and it's got some LNER teak coaches behind it. Not many, just 4 on there. So I'm going to get her running straight away for you, so I'll just grab that point. There we go, and I'll give her some juice. And this one really does have class. Yeah, K1. Anyway, I'll give you some info for this one then. So these began life in 1949 when 70 were built between then and the following year by Edward Thompson. Unlike Gresley, Thompson preferred 2-cylinder designs, and that's what the K1 became. The K1s only had relatively short lives but did carry out mixed traffic duties, so passenger and goods, on the LNER very briefly, but then when BR took over, they operated on the north-eastern region of British Railways. By 1962 the class began its withdrawal, the last being removed in 1967. Only one was preserved, which was the BR number 62005 with the name Lord of the Isles. Okay, so time to have a running session then with all 4 of these. So I'll start the Ivatt 2MTs up first, and we'll get the county going as well, but this time at a more of a sort of express passenger speed. So yeah, let's do that. There she goes, nice start. Alright, let's have a little running session then. Okay, so you've seen them all now anyway. All 6 or 7 if you count the double header. So So yeah, let me know which was your favourite. No idea about which was my favourite. I'll have to get back to you on that one. Not. No, it's definitely the Merchant Navy for me, but yeah, everybody likes what they like, don't they? And that K1, I reckon some of you might choose that. I'll have to wait and see. But yeah, that is a fantastic model. And that county looks great at such a good speed. Try not to go over the top. Railmaster says that that is about 70 miles an hour, so don't know what you make of that. It's been quite a reasonable mix of the big four as well today. I think we've had one from each, haven't we? So yeah, always nice when that works out well. Alright then folks, well that should just about do it for today. That was a whole collection of locos from the 1940s. I hope you did enjoy the video. If you did, as always, please feel free to leave a like or even a comment, because I do love to hear from you, of course. And also, if you'd like to, you can check out the Facebook and Twitter pages at facebook.com/samstrains and twitter.com/samstrains. It would be lovely to see you on there, and also don't forget you can send in your pictures to put up on the wall. I'll just show you that. Here it is so far. It is a little bit out of date, so if you sent yours in within the last few weeks, don't worry, it will be appearing here pretty soon. But yeah, there's lots already. Let me get these in shot for you. There we go. So if you'd like to send these in, please send them, or please email them to samstrains@outlook.com, and I'll pop those up on the wall of fame for you. But yeah, that's it then. Thank you very much for watching once again. I'll see you all very soon, and yeah, take care everybody. See you soon.